Yet another homegrown hero departs via free agency from Red Sox Nation. Not that moving to San Diego for just over $250 million is something anybody from Boston or the greater Boston area would turn down. But at the same time, bye-bye Bogey and Fenway faithful are furious. Plus, the generally offensive state of the New England Patriots offense. Can they get their act together enough in time to beat Kylo Ren, D-Hop, Handsome Cliff, and the Arizona Cardinals on Monday Night Football? We will discuss all of this and so much more on today's show, where, as always,
see, the more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Let's fuck around, let's find out, and maybe offer up a couple of NFL picks. Yeah, boy's on a heater with his three-team teases coming up on Dick Picks. Once again, we come to you live via the magic of the internet from my office. That would be my fan cave and office, and the offices of Swing Juice, where my guy, Steve Happis, you know him as Dakota Cash Bomb, joins your old pal, Nick Fitzy Stevens, for the Week 14 edition of Dick Picks. Here across the Fitzy GFY socials. Thank you guys for joining us. And as always, thank you very much to our sponsor and friends at Underdog Fantasy. Go to underdogfantasy.com now or use the Underdog Fantasy app. Download it, sign up. Promo code Fitzy gets you, boom, sauce, a nice up to $100 match back. And who couldn't use an extra hundo to blow on some player props, some best ball fantasy, and so much more. So promo code Fitzy gets you up to $100 match back on your initial deposit. Good afternoon, Dakota. How are you?
You know, you really need to have a drop. The underdog here's to save the day. You know, like at the beginning, like when you're doing that read, right? And you could have maybe a gift come in with like Sweet Polly purebred. Is it purebred?
No, Mighty Mouse was like, "Here I come to save."
Oh, that's right. So what was the underdog?
Underdog.
Yeah, that's what you need. Dum 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 dum. You know, like I think
I forget.
Yeah.
I'm usually super good. With like cartoon 1980s. Obviously, that's my wheelhouse because it's the only time I was semi-relevant. Theme songs, nostalgia, and everything else. Underdog. That's about as far as I can go with that one.
That was Sinister Bart Simpson. What was his name, man? I'm going back into my memory. My head's been hit too many times to remember this.
Good morning, Michael. How are you? We have people joining us from all over the country, as always. Robert Louis Steele IV, who also contributed a nice question on yesterday's Six Rings Mailbag podcast. Well, how do you fucking do, fellas? That's a great greeting. Rad Rob, also in charge of our IT and tech department. Hello, gentlemen. I see no gentleman here. And good point. This will launch us right into topic number one today. Stephen Tower joins the program. Hey, those $12 Bud Lights at Fenway don't just pay for themselves. Anthony Vanini, Anthony, watching live on Facebook right now. The Red Sox really, and I like what you did here, Anthony, dropped the ball on this one, Fitzy. Thank you guys for joining us. Your comments, your questions, all throughout today's foolish little bit of live stream sports talky talk with a couple of dicks from the South Shore. Dakota, strikes me once again, my guy, that even though there's no way in hell, Hades, or Haverhill that the Red Sox were going to sign Xander Bogaerts, clubhouse leader, Red Sox legend, two-time World Series champion, to an 11-year, $280 million contract with a no-trade clause, putting him on the San Diego Padres, reuniting with Don Orsillo. Oh, the pain, until he's 41 years old. No way that was possibly going to happen. However, Doesn't this sort of like reek or stink of John Lester in so much as, once again, you didn't value one of your leaders, one of your homegrowns, and it never should have gotten to this. It's an absurd contract. San Diego Padres have almost $1 billion tied up at shortstop between Machado and Tatis Jr. and now Xander Bogaerts. Now they're going to have like Tatis in right field now, I guess. And Machado plays third, and Bogey will play shortstop. And he's not even a very great defensive shortstop. But like,
Bogey had his best.
I
I think from a defensive rating, super high analytical. I think God bless you. Bogaerts actually had one of his better defensive years at shortstop. In a contract year, oh, by the way, right? Probably got him an extra.
Offensively, he picked up as the year progressed, but everyone was down on the Red Sox.
So here's what I have to say. From a business standpoint, I get it. There's no way, like if I'm John Henry, there's no way I'm giving him 11 years, $280 million. Not gonna do it. But here's where John Henry, and I can't, I want to go after Chaim Bloom for this, but then I started thinking, and then you bring up Lester. This is a common theme, no matter who the GM has been, correct? Like, Chaim Bloom wasn't here for John Lester. He wasn't here for, a lot of the previous guys that we were going into a contract year and they just lowballed and then waited till after the end of the season. So here's what I don't understand. And here's where I think Chaim Bloom is at fault. At the beginning of the year, if you're misreading the market, you have no chance to be a good GM. Because if they were to offer him before the season started, 6 years, $180 million, I'm going to say Xander Bogaerts probably at that point would have taken the deal.
I couldn't agree more. You just saw someone like Trey Turner get offered way more money to go out to San Diego. And listen, the Padres, the baseball fathers, were not going to be denied after knocking out the Mets, but then getting bumped in the divisional round after they get down through the wild card. They don't make it. They get, didn't they clean the clock of the Dodgers and then they lose in the NLCS quickly to who the hell did they lose to? The Phillies. They got clobbered by the Phillies. They were either going to have Aaron Judge, Trey Turner, or blank. And blank could have easily been, give me the next highest price somebody of certain baseball pedigree and talent, and we're going to pay for him, and we're going to have him. We're not going to be denied. And it happened to be Bogaerts, who they threw silly money at. But Trey Turner went where he wanted to go, and Bogaerts said time and again, I would like to finish my career here. I'm happy here. I want to finish where I started. He belonged. He fit. Obviously, you saw Trevor Story have a very bumpy first year. I don't know if and how and when he'll pick it up. But you have someone that works, who loves it here, who the fans love.
I know. And that's the problem.
Even if you have to displace him at short in a year or two because Marcelo Mayer grows up and is ready for the bigs in 2024. But whatever.
But here's the thing.
It didn't need to come to this.
Right.
Not with the money they
and you
have.
know what? And after they get wind of the offers on the street, they come at the last hour and offer him 6 years, $160 million, where you could have offered him 6 for $180 before the season started and had him signed, sealed, and delivered. And then at that point, if you make, and here's the biggest point to this, Fitzy.
Yeah.
If you make Xander what you think is a competitive offer and fair, 6 of 180 before the season started, and he turns it down, you trade him. You know that you're nowhere close. Because if they offered him 6 at 160 in the final hour, that means they could have offered him 6 at 180 to wrap him up. Because the biggest catastrophe was
just a little extra.
Was not trading him in a year that they finished. They cost me $20,000 and they sucked. Okay, that was the biggest catastrophe.
I remember when you put down the big money that you made on the Cardinals hitting their over/under win prop last year, and you doubled down by putting it on the Sox.
I did.
On what should have been an absolute effing no-brainer.
I know, over 85 and a half.
Over 85 and a half. They should get that with a $200 million salary.
They'll get it next year. They will get it next year.
Because they will. Are you sure?
Yes, you know what?
Why should I believe that?
Do you know why? Because they've identified the first part of the year where their mistakes were made, and that was in the bullpen. And if you shore up the bullpen, you solve all your problems. They had 8 blown saves like in April, right? If you just go 4-4 in those saves, now you were, I think, 500 instead of chasing their tail, and then had to go on that great 24-4 run, to get them, I think, 5 or 6 games above 500. And if you didn't blow those games early in the season, you're in the playoffs. You're winning 92, 93 games. It was all about the bullpen. They're shoring up the bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that the over next year is actually a little bit lower so I can get somewhat of an edge. I'm hoping. Well,
so the Red Sox to date, so in case anyone doesn't know, good question from Larry Young watching on Facebook. Where are the Padres getting all this cash? Stephen Tower, did the Padres short FTX stock? How do they have
may have.
Who knows? Anyone can find the money. Multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire people that own these. Anyone, there's no salary cap. You just have to pay the collective bargaining tax and a luxury tax. Once you go over whatever 203 or 213, whatever it is in baseball, you just have to pay extra money to be able to sign all these players. So Golden State pays like $300 million a year for their basketball team, and they got tons of money, and they just make it up in parades and T-shirts and merch and DVDs because it's the 90s, whatever. Yeah. To date, the Red Sox have signed reliever Chris Martin and yesterday Kenley Jansen, who was the closer for the Bravos the last couple of years, but previously had been with the Dodgers. He, as many Braves fans have told me, is likely going to give us Craig Kimbrell shakes once again because he makes it interesting, but at least they have a legitimate closer. Like going into the season, Sans won, closer by committee, Ryan Brazier and his 6 ERA. Like he shouldn't have ever been put in that position in the first place. Like it just wasn't a comfortable spot for him to be in. Yeah. And I think everything was mismanaged and mishandled last year. But arguably, your starting staff looks betterish. I don't know what you're going to get from Sale. No one ever knows, and I hope he stays way the hell.
I mean, Bayo's unbelievable. That kid's going to be legit. He's frontline Pedro-like. I mean, if you looked at, I think he had only 2 really bad starts out of the gate, and then from there else, he was lights out. 6 innings, 7 innings, few hit balls, couple of runs. The one place he has to improve his game on is when runners got on base, he really didn't know how to shut down the inning, where the really good pitchers, they get themselves out of jams. So Bayo could just go lights out, and then a few guys get on, and then he have one bad inning. But it's only 2 or 3 runs, but it's still one bad inning. Those are the things that he has to kind of avoid. And early in Tom Glavine's career, Maddox's career, Avery, that whole Atlanta, it was the same thing. You get to Atlanta early, it was the first inning or dust. If you didn't get to Maddox, et cetera, in the first inning on those Braves pitching staff, you never got to them. And it's the same kind of thing with Bayo. Bayo needs to learn just how to control himself a little bit in the first few innings, and he's going to be dynamite. I can't wait. You may get Sale back. You're going to have Whitlock probably
Whitlock is awesome.
Probably in the starting rotation, right? Because that's where they want to go. They don't need him in the bullpen anymore. So to me, Bayo, Whitlock, and whoever else they want to throw out there, I'm happy with it. I'm excited for the Red Sox season, even though we still have a lot of Patriots season left to say what draft pick they're going to get. They're going to end up with the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th draft pick.
I want to answer this question real quick. A lot of people on the Cape watching the show, which makes me very, very happy since that is my second home and my forever love.
It's Cape 104. Is that Cape 104?
No, I love. There's 104.7. It comes in down the Cape. I think it's 104.7. But I always listen to Pixie 103 when I'm on the Cape.
Do you know who you? So in this
103.
So in this world of communications, when I went to that great college of Bridgewater State University down in Bridgewater, Mass, and Dan Mahoney, Braintreeite. Remember Dan Mahoney? So at the time, Dan was...
The only Mahoney that matters in my life is Officer Mahoney from Police Academy.
No, but Dan Mahoney, Braintree guy, he's a little bit older than you. He was my age. He was a DJ on Cape 104, Cape 103. And it was funny. What?
Larry Young, when Dakota's playing for a team that's bad news for the rest of us.
Hey, you know what I am excited about? And I want to...
down there, Edward as well. Real quick, we should answer Robert's question, though.
Okay, what was that?
Contractual status. He said, I'm so focused on the Pats, I'm a little tuned out on the Sox. I think a lot of New England sports fans are as well. What's the contractual status of Devers? They have him signed for 1 more year. It's an arbitration year. You have to like, and right now, you either lock up, you go to Devers right now with best and final, as they say in real estate, and you go up. To me, I give him a Mike Trout deal. I say, here's 12 years, $420 million, 35 a year, play third for another couple of years, then you can be an overpriced DH. The kid has a bat. You don't lose that.
It's a great bat.
Sick stick. You do not lose that. And the fans are going to revolt. Guy, you can only pay. You gotta. Someone's gonna buy those effing $12 Bud Lights, kid. I'm not going. If they get rid of Devers too, and they're like, yeah, 2023 is gonna be a scrappy bridge year. Hard pass. I need some of my guys.
So right now, what do you think the odds that Devers will be back, knowing that they just like Xander? Does it increase the chances that Devers will be here, or just say, you know what, the Red Sox just aren't going to pay anybody, that's not going to keep anybody? They want everybody on a deal.
Good point by Joseph Crowley. Winner, the Duck Boat's kicking off for the Celtics. And like what a night too, because the Bruins kicked the crap out of the Avalanche. Right, you got like the Stanley Cup champs and the machine that is the Boston Bruins 2022-23 goes out to Colorado and just wipes the ice with the Avalanche, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It was 4-0. I don't know what the final score was, but even more so, the Celtics kicked the unholy
They were
shit.
40. At the same time, the Bruins are up 4-0. The Celtics are up 40.
Unbelievable. I mean, just mopped the floor with the Phoenix Suns. And then they only ended up winning by like 27 because I don't even know if they shot the ball in the fourth quarter. They didn't need to. And then like everyone goes to bed like, oh, I'm feeling so much better. I'm not going to worry about the Patriots for like a day or two. I'm not going to. And then all of a sudden, like everyone gets the midnight alert on their phone, like, go fuck yourself. Oh, Xander Bogaerts went to the Padres. Oh, shit.
All right. Either way, before we get to football or the other stuff, I do want to have some exciting news.
Oh, so we got it. Please.
So, Fitzy, I heard you were a pickleball fan.
Huge pickleball. I know. And there are high-level investors in professional pickleball now, like Tom Brady and Steph Curry.
So,
I shit you not, people.
So at Swing Juice, which is, we started off as this, fun lifestyle, golf apparel, T-shirts, hoodies, performance wear on the course. And on. We've been getting tons of requests about pickleball. So we just launched today a pickleball like T-shirt line. So I want everybody to let me know which one's their favorite. So here's the pickled one, plain and simple. We have.
I like the pickled is appropriate for me because the majority of my innards are pickled.
We have. Let me move my mic out of the way. We have.
Let's pickle.
Let's pickle.
That's so stupid.
We got this one.
When life gives you lemons, play pickleball. Excellent.
All right. Is that a good one?
Excellent. These are all highly wearable.
One of my favorites right here.
That's pretty solid. That's right? That's probably the biggest crowd pleaser.
Choose your weapon. I'll save I'll save my favorite for last. So,
pickleball is life.
Simple. And then the Russell Wilson pickleball shirt. Right there. There's the Russell Wilson. Cooking in the kitchen. There you go. So,
five pickleball shirts in one day. Big launch.
I think there's 7 Fitzy. Your counting is
God.
A little bit off. Anyways,
you're right.
You can go to swingjuice.com. They're live. Search for pickleball. And these things are now, we got them in-house before it picks the pickleball for the holiday season. Maybe we'll start giving out pickleball shirts here on the live stream.
I think that's the best way to brand and market right there to our loyal viewers and people that like contributing in the chat box and during the weekly dick pics party. I love it. I love it. I started playing as soon as the pandemic hits, right? And we're all like, hey, stay home. Don't go anywhere. Blah. I bought a set off Amazon, and I shared a driveway with this house where we lived in Newton for a while. And my older boy and I
next to Tuca
every day down the street from Tuca. I was in Tuca. I was in Tuca's shed. Don't forget, I wasn't. Did you taste his long drink or whatever? Since you're like this alcohol connoisseur, did you ever get to taste it? Like, well, you could. First of all, I prefer Bon Vivant. You can say since you enjoy. If anyone who enjoys drinking with me calls me a palcoholic. No, I never had one with him, but have I had the Finnish long drink? Yeah, it tastes like Fresca and gin. They're amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Easy, it's the delish, easy drinker. I love pickleball. We used to just go out and just play like father-son pickleball in the driveway every day. It's great. It's such an easy sport to play too. Like anybody, you can't just pick it up and play it like take it with you like a cornhole or bocce. Like you can't play at the beach, but all you need is like a parking lot, a driveway, or like, a community tennis court, and you go bang it around for a while. Good little workout, fun game. You can't really play with beverage in hand, which is rule number 1 to me.
Well, you
for
can
all
try.
leisure sports.
You can try.
Dakota, did you actually start, by the way, the rumor of Brady going back to New England?
Yeah, many weeks ago. I was the first one and got slammed on Twitter for it.
Well, getting slammed on Twitter really isn't.
Yeah, well, that's
much.
yeah.
I mean, that's just if you say something true or if you share values of any kind, you're always going to get slammed on Twitter. So
yep.
All right, so we both agree it never should have gotten to that point with Xander Bogaerts, but we wouldn't pay that kind of crazy money. We knew the Red Sox wouldn't, and it's a shame. On the bright side,
yeah,
Bogaerts jerseys will be half price at the Red Sox Pro Shop for the.
Speaking of that, we have a Xander Bogaerts MLBPA T-shirt at swingjuice.com too. So
That's
get them.
little holiday slash on that
I gotta
one.
figure out where it is. Go ahead, you can keep talking.
All right, this is turning into a QVC episode. You know what? I'll give him a view while he goes to find that, just for fun, because I know you guys like it when I view Dakota. And if you, by the way, at any point during the show, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook, you can throw some stars our way. If you're watching on YouTube live, you can just throw a couple bucks. What do they call that? A power watch, cash bomb, whatever it is. And I will gladly view Dakota. And if you throw in a couple extra bucks, I'll even give you a lower third as well right during the show. You can have your own caption. How about that? Larry Young, I couldn't agree with you more. Twitter is a cesspool. I don't even care how you spell it, Larry. It doesn't matter. As my kid would say, it's a cesspool because that's what the kids say. Twitter is pretty sus these days. Yeah. All right, welcome back.
So this is it right here.
Actually, at least it doesn't say Red Sox. And there's a lot of yellow on there. So actually.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, maybe we can use this, for it. So there it is. All right. Anyways, goodbye, Xander. Throw it away.
Goodbye, Xander. Bye, Xander.
Goodbye. That's gone.
So here we go. I'll let Edward Litwin help us transition to our next topic. What are your thoughts on the offensive woes for the Patriots? Is it Jones or is it Patricia? I'm not sure, Dakota, if you saw this, but we broke on our socials earlier. We had our microphones. Some of our people were down at Patriots practice yesterday, and we picked up this exclusive audio of a conversation between Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, and Joe Judge, the Patriots 2022 Offensive Brain Trust.
I have an idea. We've been talking, and we think this week we should try and score more than one touchdown.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Yeah, we were thinking of a pass play where we throw the score ball past the ball hike line.
Yep.
Giving the catching person a chance to run and score.
Wow, you're kidding, really? You guys thought of this all by yourselves? Sweet Jesus. Never felt more like Charlie Brown in my life. Wow, people must think Kanye is less crazy than I am for hiring you two. What have I done?
Woe be the state of the Patriots offense. The offensive offense of the New England Patriots.
You do a good Bill Bell impersonation.
It's not bad. Yeah. It's not bad. And it doesn't even matter what Judge and Patricia sound like as long as
I don't even think nobody even knows what Joe Judge even sounds like, right? He had that one press conference.
He's done a few availabilities. And Patricia is just everything is like a jazz-based word salad when it comes from Matt Patricia. Like if you think I lack an economy of words, you should listen to Matt Patricia when he gets behind the mic. But I digress. All right, the Patriots lose 24-10 last week. A week ago tonight, you called it. I resisted it. Shame on me. Good for you. It was 24-10. It wasn't that close. Mac Jones slinging F-bombs in slow-mo on the sideline in front of a nationally televised audience. It was gross. It was a really it was a boring. If it was as boring to watch at home as it was to watch at the stadium, and I was all juiced up because I'm on the field doing my fan engagement thing. It's just been miserable. They're 6-6. They still technically have a path to the playoffs, but does it matter?
The team is not 6. Okay, I know that they're 6-6.
Yeah,
they're not a 6-6 team, unfortunately. Right? Most of their wins against quarterbacks that aren't even on their team playing or even in the league anymore, or they're somewhere of an afterthought, okay? This is the problem. And you know what? If Kyler Murray, if he plays, they're not going to win. If Colt McCoy, who's older than I think both of us, plays, then maybe you have a chance, right? So the Patriots could actually be 7-6 and beat another backup quarterback, and I wouldn't say in the thick of it, but I can't see them winning 2 games, which they need. I don't see them winning both Arizona and Vegas, because Vegas, if they didn't blow 3 20-point leads early in the season, Vegas is right there. One of the better teams in the AFC. That Vegas game against Josh is going to be super difficult. Their only
way
hope,
more difficult than it was going to be a month ago. They figured that they figured it out now. Like, that offense is finally in gear, and Devontae Adams is on schedule for 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns. But before, let's not put the cat before the horse, because I'll be out there next week as well.
So you are going, because I canceled my flight.
Yeah, I'm going. I got to do some work for the team as well. It's my wife's birthday, so we're making a little bit of a thing.
Oh, she like pickleball?
Easy family show. Watch out! Don't make me go.
It is dick pics. It is dick pics. So,
yeah. Hey, that's right, Rad Rob. Maybe Twitter should hire Matt Patricia. There we go. Breaking news: Matt Patricia to Twitter.
Does Matt Patricia have a Twitter? Like, does he tweet? Because that would be. Do you imagine the cesspool that would be? No. I mean,
Elon Musk would deactivate it out of fear for some sort of general humanity code.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tweet at Elon. You know how he's always putting these polls, should we let this guy back in? Should we do this in life? I'm going to have Elon post a Twitter poll about Matt Patricia versus Mac Jones. Who do you think is at fault in New England? That's what I'm going to have Elon do.
You could put it up. You could put it up as well. Everyone keeps playing the blame game. Is it Matt?
Yeah.
Is it Mac Jones? Is he not good enough? Is it Matt Patricia?
I'm going to stay consistent, okay?
Okay.
Part of the blame definitely on Matt Patricia, rookie, while you're learning. But you have to say, if Mac Jones, right from preseason, his decision-making has been god-awful. And you remember how I said one of the things that I wanted to see this year Mac Jones improve was his hospital balls of getting people killed? The last couple of weeks, every prognosticator on TV now is like saying Mac's throwing balls. He's going to get someone killed. This was the problem last year. It's coming back again. Whether it's all Matt Patricia or all Mac Jones, who the F cares? Mac Jones, if he didn't regress this year, he'd be able to overcome Matt Patricia. You really could. Because if you look around the league, there are plenty of new offensive coordinators in certain situations that the quarterback had to basically learn new, and they're okay because you know why? They're good quarterbacks. They're good quarterbacks. So to me, this still comes down to Matt Patricia. Because if Lamar Jackson's here, do you think we're talking about Matt Patricia? No. We're talking about how good Lamar Jackson is. So if Mac Jones was really a good quarterback, he would overcome whatever Matt Patricia, because you know what it would be? He'd go up to the line and he'd what do you mean? You think Lamar Jackson would?
No. We got several commenters in a row. You got some people siding with you on the Mac Jones thing, but I just want to point out real quick, as the debate rages, is it just the talent overall? Is it bad coaching? Is it all Patricia? Is it all Mac Jones? Rad Rob, good point. Don't you think it's the O-line, no holes, no protection? The O-line last week was the worst offensive line, a truly offensive line that they have trotted out that I have seen during the Belichick era.
Fitzy, I will give you.
And everyone were running for their lives. Larry Young, I agree with you. The O-line is absolute Swiss cheese. But you can't go anywhere or do anything without an offensive line.
I'm going to say this again until the cows come home. Last year, go look at my timeline. Every other play, I'm like, you're going to get Mac Jones killed. Okay, you need an offensive line. He had a shitty offensive line last year, and he got himself out of situations.
It was better than this.
Fitzy, I mentioned the stat before. Pocket time last year, 2.4 seconds with that shitty offensive line. Pocket time this year, 2.4 seconds. So he has the same amount of pocket time that he did last year. He has better offensive weapons. He has a much better.
That tells you it's the coaching.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's not all about coaching. It's about the Mac Jones movement in the quarterback, holding onto the ball, not making the right reads. There are too many times where this guy does not make the correct reads. That's a problem. He also, for some reason, looks like he's a lot slower this year. When he's doing his fake handoff this and scrambling this way, he doesn't look like an athlete. It's almost like he went from 30 years old to 35, like overnight. Like he just doesn't look as mobile as he did. Mac this year, he doesn't.
He's actually running more this year. He's actually moving.
But
He
okay,
is moving more this year.
Okay, when you get into an old Dodge Daytona, okay,
Good point,
and you
man.
have your foot on the gas, once you get going, you can still run at full speed. I'm talking about the agility in the pocket. He has regressed this year. He's not as quick. It's almost like his blinders are on. I mentioned this before. The interception at New York, when the guy beat, whoever was the right tackle at the time? Eugene Chung, whoever it was out there, okay, at right tackle. I know, Eugene Chung reference. All Mac Jones had to do was step up. Nick Cazier, step up in the pocket. Instead, his arm got hit, he threw the ball, and it was intercepted. Those are the type of things that Mac Jones is not doing that great this year. And it's a problem.
Okay.
And it's a problem.
And we have a super chat that I would like to highlight here, and I'm going to get to it in just a second. I want to point out that if the play calling is trashola and everyone is overthinking things and everyone is actually thinking and not playing, if they are reading and not reacting on the offensive side of the ball, then you can see them in their progressions as opposed to see them playing fluidly. And if that's the case, plus receivers are trying to figure out new routes when they had different ones last year they were comfortable with, it's just going to funk and gunk things up to a point where you see things like last week, and we're not even getting into the weeks where plays were being called out left and right by defenses like the.
You want to know what? You want to know why? You want to know why that's happening?
Everyone is thinking they're getting out of their breaks too late.
Do you want to know why that's happening?
Behind the line, it's a
Do you want to know? Do you want to know why that's happening? It's because the defensive coordinators have had a season and a half to know how to get Mac Jones off his rhythm, off his step, how to bump these receivers, etc. That's called game planning, taking away what something that you do well. This is what exactly Bill Belichick has done for years. Take away what the quarterback does well. Take away their best player. All it is, Mac Jones doesn't have enough breadth, okay, to know when he gets under center, if he's in a certain set, the defense goes, yep, it's Mac Jones. We know they're going to run either this or they're going to run that. And if it's a different quarterback in there that may have 4 different options under a same set, you can't say that. So I think teams have looked at this offense and realized, you know what? Their offense sucks. Mac Jones is limited and can only do X, and we're just going to say, you know what? We're going to stack this and do that. And that's why it creates more problems. You went back to something earlier, and you said last week the offensive line sucked. How was the offensive line in Minnesota?
It was good, but Minnesota has a lousy defense. Lousy.
Right, but how was the offensive line? It performed well,
enough.
Right? Okay, how many with that offensive line that played great? It was probably the best game this year of the offensive line. I think we can all agree.
And it was a piecemeal offensive line because Trent
how
Brown
many
wasn't sick.
How many points did that great offensive line protection give you in the fourth quarter? Zero. That's the problem. I mentioned it before. 2 weeks ago, what did I say against Buffalo? I want to see Mac Jones just extend third downs. Keep Josh Allen off the field. Do you remember me saying that? And they too many 3 and outs. Too many 3 and outs.
Too many 3 and outs.
48 minutes. 48 minutes.
It was 38. It was 38 to 22.
Oh, it seemed like 48.
I felt like it. And I just want to read the V-Mans. Everyone's read it by now, but I just want to highlight again. You now have dedicated diehard fans. Thank you for the tip. We appreciate that. That goes in the end of year supper fund.
Tip jar.
Or we'll make a holiday donation. No. Yes, come on, be charitable. We'll put it in the Salvation Army bucket. The only way forwards for the Patriots is to blow it up. You blew it up, damn it. Clean house, sell what assets you have, and start from scratch. You might hate it, but it's for the best. Do you honestly believe Steve Dakota Happis, South Shore smartass, complete North Quincy dink,
who Greg Bedard yesterday on the air said, Dakota, you're smarter than that. I'm like, I don't know, Greg. Don't give me that much credit. Okay.
have we gotten to a point now where legitimately the only way out is not to draft better, is not to go buy different players in free agency, but to almost have like a page one rewrite to just blow the thing up?
No, I don't think so. Do you know what?
It can't be that bad.
It's not that bad, okay? They drafted Mr. Strange on the offensive line. We knew they had to go offline. Whether or not it was the right pick at the right time, they could have traded whatever. At least they went after like a need. They may have missed on it. Maybe next year he'll come out.
You mean a need that they created by dealing away Shaq Mason? Cool.
This is true. But here's the thing: if we look back a year, another year goes by, another 2 years go by, and at some point, Patriot Nation realizes, and I grant that this is hypothetical, that while Mac Jones really never recovered, never did well, wasn't a good quarterback, couldn't start for another team, was just a glorified backup. Would you then say, and Matt Patricia goes on to be an offensive coordinator, whether it's this team, another team, and they have success, would you, Fitzy, go back and says, you know what? Maybe it was more about Mac Jones and just his quarterback play than it was Matt Patricia, because we don't know yet. We can point to Matt Patricia because it's a scapegoat, and we can look at last year Mac Jones having a good rookie season enough where I thought he was going to like be the guy.
Sure did. So damn good enough for me. Had excitement in the air.
How did RG3 do his rookie year? And did we ever see from RG3 before?
Yeah, but Mac Jones did not end his rookie season in the playoffs. He did lose in the wild card round, just like RG3 did, but he didn't tear his ACL on the gunked up field of RFK Stadium.
My point is, there are over years plenty of quarterbacks in their rookie year that performed well that ended up not really being NFL quarterbacks. So Mac Jones, if he does not become an NFL quarterback, let's just say the Patriots win 2 more games the rest of the way. You're still going to point fingers at Matt Patricia, I get it. But Mac Jones is probably still going to show that he's playing badly. And now going into next season, you know what Bill's going to do?
He'll maybe go Patricia, and then we're all going to light ourselves.
No. I would say if they're going to keep Mac Jones, someone else is going to call the plays, and Bill's going to go, here, you call the plays for Mac. Mac, who do you want? He's going to pull the card where, all right, Mac, go ahead. Crafty, you wanted Mac Jones? Mac, who do you want as your offensive play caller? And then you'll have a wasted season of next year trying to figure out if Mac Jones is the guy with the play caller. And then you're going to have people, we'll go back, well, Jesus, maybe it wasn't all Matt Patricia. Maybe Mac Jones just wasn't a quarterback. Because you know what? I credit the Jets.
Do you really only feel that, yes, for pulling the plug at the time where Zach Wilson was so much.
That's correct. Zach Wilson, number 2 pick in the draft. And they have a playoff team. And Saleh realized that, you know what? Mike White's better. He's a better option for this team. Now, maybe talent-wise, Mike White isn't, but for that team, Mike White is a better option.
Zach Wilson has never done. Mike White had the same kind of game that Mac Jones did, and the Jets should have won, but they took one right to Barrios at the end of the game. Yeah. When he drops it, they should have won that game.
I know.
Mike White is playing Bailey Zappi-esque, and also Mac Jones-like against the Vikings as well. Zach Wilson was just, he lost the locker room. He's an arrogant little shit. Fun fact. And he has never played that well.
Fun fact, Mike White, you know where he went to school?
Where?
Western Kentucky. Where did Bailey Zappi go to school? Western Kentucky.
Wow.
It's going to happen. Bailey Zappi is going to be the starting quarterback for this Patriots season. He will. At some point, Bill Belichick is it's going to happen. Is it a good
thing or a bad thing that Zappi got the time that he did this year? Because
it's a great thing, because you know why? Go listen to yourself on Instagram, YouTube, Snapface, my chat, WeChat, your chat, and go listen to Fitzy and everybody else after Zappi started that game against Detroit and after that game against Cleveland. There was nobody calling for Matt Patricia's head. Everybody was saying, wow, Matt did actually a really good job. Does this vindicate Matt Patricia? He took a quarterback that was in the 4th round in his rookie and brought him into Green Bay, and if they just fucking took the gloves off in overtime, he would have beaten Green Bay.
He would have won that game too, I know.
Where is the people that said, wow, actually, maybe this is Mac Jones not listening and not wanting to do what Matt Patricia says, because when Bailey Zappi was in there, this offense was flying. And I don't care whether it was against...
Back to your point, though. It was against Cleveland. It was against...
Cleveland Cleveland's going to make a run at the playoffs. Detroit has won like 5 out of 6 games.
What did I tell you about drinking before getting on the air?
Who, me? No, they have won 5 out of 6 games.
No, they have not.
All right, I'm sorry. You said my microphone's way too loud. I'll put it a little bit away. See, this is where's our technology, our intern?
Where's Rad Rob?
I
don't know
where's
why
Rad Rob to control my mic levels?
Yeah, I can't even adjust mine for some reason.
Yeah,
Mine
I'll
should
turn
be
my
normal.
mic levels down.
Just turn yours down a little bit.
Microphone
mine
check.
seem appropriate. Thank you.
This is Cape 104. Dan Mahoney coming to you live from Hyannisport.
My guy Jake Smith. Do we bring back Damian Harris and Jacoby Myers? You have to bring back Jacoby Myers.
No, you don't have to bring back Jacoby Myers.
Yes, He's a great possession.
He is
receiver.
not.
Top.
Last year, he was statistically the worst starting slot receiver, and he's not that much better. He's only the blanket. He's only the blanket for Mac Jones. That's the only reason why you like Jacoby Myers. I'm sorry, the guy sucks. He hurts this team. If you had Christian Kirk in here as your slot receiver, he'd be a lot better than Jacoby Myers. And
I'm not going to put up with that. Even I refuse to put up with that slander. I agree, Jake. Yes. You need the compliment. I would not overpay him because I don't think Pierre Strong or Kevin Harris Jr. are going to get it done as your backups next year, even though you spent valuable draft picks on those guys at running back this year. I would definitely bring back Damian Harris, and I absolutely would bring back the wide receiver who, believe it or not, is the top free agent wide receiver on the market this year in Jacoby Myers. Believe it or not, that's right. It's such a sad free agent wide receiver market. Pro Football Focus has Jacoby Myers as the top ranked free agent.
Who cares? That's like saying you and I, Fitzy, are the top rated sports free agents on the market, okay? That's what it's like saying, all right? We're at the low end of the hanging fruit, okay? Just like Jacoby Myers. Just because he's the best available doesn't mean he's great.
Wants to know, where's the other guy that makes sense? I don't know. I can never find anyone who makes sense.
Anyways, Jacoby Myers, man, not the answer. Not the answer. So if you have to pay him, not the answer.
Here it is right here. The most important thing. And by the way, small victory lap for
you.
Now, Fitzy, who
Yes.
was telling you needed to put Marcus Jones. Marcus Jones.
And do you know who listened to Fitzy? Do you know who watches your podcast every week? Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia said, Fitzy, you're right. That's the mark of a good offensive coach.
3 plays, 1 touchdown, and he was their leading receiver, which is pathetic.
Yeah, it is pathetic.
Ridiculous.
It's because it's Mac Jones pathetic. That's why. Anyways, I can't keep talking about Mac Jones. The guy sucks. He's not an NFL quarterback. It's not all about Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia might not be a good offensive coach, but Mac Jones is not a good quarterback and not a winning team quarterback. I'm sorry. Forget what you saw last year. Look at what you saw at the end of Mac Jones at the end of last season. The guy sucked. He couldn't move the ball, could not score. That's the real Mac Jones, and that was with Josh McDaniels as the offensive coordinator. Everybody forgets that. Look at Mac Jones the end of the season with Josh McDaniels as your OC. He sucked.
Wow. To think it's come to this. All I ask is this. Give me a competent offensive line, a competent offensive coordinator, and a nice 4-game stretch to test out the old McCorkle, and then once and for all, we will know. All of the circumstances, everything that could possibly conspire against Mac Jones making any strides, as opposed to having this massive regression. When you've got an offensive coordinator and a brain trust, Dakota, that has literally made every single person not named Ramondre Stevenson regressed statistically to such a degree, it is jarring and jaw-dropping. And every analyst, prognosticator, as you call them, former player, former coordinator, et al., have all said the same thing. This isn't an offense. This is a series of play calls run by someone who doesn't deserve to be coaching high school. It's a joke. And I would know. As a living one, I would know. By the way, you could also buy a Vute of Dakota for just $2 of the Super Chat.
Yes, we
or
are.
For $5, I'll even give you a caption.
Definitely. Listen, I don't care how much money we make. I just want credit that when Vute goes mainstream, that Dakota was the one that came up with that phrase. That's it. End of story. And listen, Larry Young, you want to know who pissed in my cornflakes, my PMS today? I woke up to fucking Xander Bogaerts not being a Boston Red Sox, and I'm pissed. I'm sorry. So deal with it.
Jordan Watson, regular contributor here and on the Six Rings podcast. As much as I don't want to agree with anti-Chowder, Mech is looking more and more like Chad Pennington went to the playoffs twice, for Christ's sakes.
Chad Pennington had a great
Hall of Famer.
I believe they had a really good team and a really good coach.
I wouldn't even slander Chad Pennington that way. And what would Chad Pennington have looked like with Matt Patricia as coordinator? I will one up Dakota's TB prediction. The GOAT will play his next 2 years in New England.
Love it. Love to see it. I want it.
I would love to see it too.
I need a yes button.
Sidebar. Has anyone seen? I gotta get her name again. Has anyone seen Brady's new wag? There are rumors. There are rumors. Hold on, I'm gonna get her name right now. Everyone, Dakota, entertain the audience while I get.
You want me to entertain this audience?
Just talk to them for a second. You hold court. You take over hosting for a second while I.
Okay, so Fitzy's gonna pull up a picture of my ex-girlfriend that is now Tom Brady's new beau.
Okay, nope. Here we go. I'll just do it right here. I will put up a Tom Brady's. Oh my God, you guys will. I mean, seriously.
Fitzy, in the business we call it this. Yeah. Right. If we were in studio together.
There you go. Everyone, do yourself a huge favor. Merry Christmas from your old pal Fitzy. Stretch it out. There you go, right there. Search Veronica Rajek on Instagram. Go ahead, everyone, take a moment. Take a look. I have it on good sources that the GOAT's new gal pal, the new wag of the GOAT, if you will.
She spells her name with a K.
Jason Dodge. Yep, Jason Dodge. There you go. Veronica Rajek.
Can we get a picture on this stream? Do you have a picture?
That's the whole thing. I can only run videos. I can't just.
I can do it then. Hold on. I can show you a picture of my picture.
Mother of pearl. I mean, mercy. Mercy!
There she is, right there.
Oh, my.
Oh, wait a minute. That's my fiance. Sorry, wrong picture, guys. Sorry.
Shut your mouth. Holy Moses.
We should play. We should play a game of what's the last picture in your.
I don't want to be. I'm not trying to turn this into the misogyny hour, but seriously, Silas, you ain't lying, kid. Yeah, I mean, that's
and there's Veronica. There's Veronica with her clothes on, drinking a dirty martini.
That's Mrs. Dakota. That's Lady Cash Bomb, as we call her. And yes, Steven, we don't need to go back. The tweet by Orsillo welcoming Xander was not something I was ready to see. No.
Oh my God, that's right. He's going to Don Orsillo. He must be happy about that.
Oh my God, Orsillo already tweeted about it. Orsillo never should have been kicked out of here either, for Christ's sake.
And they didn't allow Orsillo to come back during the Jerry Remy tribute.
All I thought was
masochists.
No, honestly. All I thought was when I saw Xander was going to San Diego and Orsillo would be there, I just saw the reunion scene, the final scene from Ziwa Tanejo of like Morgan Freeman walking along the beach and finding Andy Dufresne, Tim Robbins, like sanding his boat, and they have a big hug together. Well, that is now, bless you, that is now Orsillo.
I thought I muted my mic. What happened?
I still knew that you were.
Wait a minute. I did mute that though, right?
I know. You did, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the Yeti Blue microphone, even though yours is gray, does come with a mute button, which you should use more frequently, by the way. Just saying. Yeah. All right, let's get to a couple of picks here on the old Dick Picks, and then we will make merry and get out of here. And Dakota's lock of the week.
Hold on. We do have to do a cleanup recap. I was wrong with the over in the Tampa Bay Monday night game against the Saints. Yep. So I did take a loss. I've been kind of cold on my plays of the week, but I did give good advice when
English,
Fitzy,
please, for the majority of the audience.
When my wigginess is coming out, when you like the over, I believe, in the Buffalo Patriot game, and I said no. Mm-hmm. The better play was to take Buffalo over the 23.5 total.
Correct, and I sent you a text when they got to 24 saying, "Nice pick, kid."
So even though I didn't bet it and it wasn't my play of the week, I can advise well. So I advised if you did like the over, it's safer to bet the Buffalo team over because if the game's going to go over, you needed Buffalo to get over anyways. And that was the ring the register, cha-ching.
No one ever saw that level of Patriots offensive ineptitude. That was
I did.
It was regionally embarrassing. This week, Dakota's lock of the week. I will advise you picking against this. I couldn't be more opposed. You thought it was 7. It's already down to 5.5. So
no,
some sharp money.
Oh my God!
On Cleveland, Deshaun Watson in stat number 2. That
he looked horrible last week. Awful. Terrible.
Dakota's quote lock of the week: Cleveland getting 5.5. at Cincinnati.
Though I do like it better at 6.5. Can I get 6.5? Because that's what I thought it was going to be, 6.5 or 7.
I might have to adjust. I might have to go like a 4-team teaser this week.
And tease
I know
Cleveland
you like
up?
it better at 7. Do you want to tease Cleveland up to 11.5? No, because if I put Cincinnati in,
Cincinnati's not going to win. I mean, it's going to be a field goal game. Since he just beat Kansas City, that was their Super Bowl midseason.
No, it was not. No, Joey Ice has Mahomes' number. Like, they're good. That was the game that catapulted them to the
Cincinnati,
AFC Championship. When Cincinnati plays the Bills in Buffalo for the AFC Championship, all I'm going to do is here to you, everyone watching. Thank you so much. The live crowd I have here in the office. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's just a dog line on the floor, but that's fine. That's happening. That's happening.
It's happening.
Here we go.
Yep.
We got our first lock of the week. Greeny's Papagino's lock of the week. Thank you. Shouting out one of our sponsors on the Fitzy socials.
What?
Pats 24, Cardinals 17. That would be a cover and an under.
Is that with Kyler Murray?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, it does matter. So, for one, this is the type of game, just like the Minnesota game. When Mac Jones goes on the road, Mac Jones plays a lot better on the road. Yep. So I would expect
because he doesn't have his own fans booing him.
That's correct too, right? I would expect that actually Mac Jones puts up some decent numbers in this game, and Arizona with DeAndre Hopkins, Brown, if Murray plays, they're not going to stop them. I love the over in the game if Arizona has a complete healthy team, because the Patriots will be able to score on the road.
Over
in
under
Arizona. Patriots
are a 2-point favorite. The over under is 44. I do like the over in this game as well. Yeah. I think the Patriots are going to score. The problem for the Patriots defense is that they've shown a drastic inability to be able to cover highly mobile quarterbacks and elite wide receiver number ones. And if Kyler Murray's playing, then Handsome Cliff is going to tell him to run for his life and then throw it to DeAndre Hopkins, who has come back from his 6-game suspension on a heater, kid. Speaking of being on a heater, let me tell you right now, the 3-team teaser, Fitzy's idiotic 3-team teaser of the week. Last week, once again, I had under Broncos at Ravens. I had Bengals getting 8. And then I had the over and Chargers at Raiders. That also went over, that hit by a couple points. That's, I think, 3 weeks in a row my teaser is hit.
Yeah,
and
on fire.
Free money coming at you once again. Feel free to swap in Cincinnati, who would be getting a half point. And they would just need to tie or win if you like. I got
you
this
like
week.
Cincy in your teas?
I do, but I'm not. They're not in there, but I like them. This week, give me the Eagles at the G-Men, which means they only have to shoot. That should be a -5. They're a 6.5-point favorite in New York. That means they only have to win if you tease them down to a half point. I'll take the under Ravens at Steelers. That's 42.5 points. You think? Someone needs a Gatorade. Banana time. It's sugar o'clock for the diabetic on the show.
My lunch from Panera has been sitting here for the last hour, so my sugars are due to crash.
0 chance Snoop Huntley versus Kenny Pickett goes over 42 points. And then I will take the over in San Diego, the Fish at the Bolts. It's 51.5. Tease it down to 45.5. Every week, the Chargers game always finishes between 47 and 51 points. No reason why, when you have one of the most explosive offenses going against a team that will be throwing for their playoff lives, as they are next to the Patriots in the also ran wild card category. So there's your free money from your old pal Fitz. Dakota, we got to wrap up. Final thoughts.
Yep. Final thoughts is Fitzy's on fire, but I'm going to win my lock of the week. Cleveland plus the points. Get them at 7. Take the alternate line up to 7 just in case. I always like to have insurance, right? You don't drive your car without insurance. Get the 7. It's a little bit insurance. You got to pay a little bit more VIG for it, but you only have to pay the VIG if you lose the bet.
Ooh,
so don't worry about it.
I like this one. Here's a expect a massive civil war in the offseason between Cliff Kingsbury. They don't fit. They should just go on Call of Duty and duke it out. Is there a 1v1? Can you do like player versus another player in Call of Duty? I want the Cardinals to go in the shitter so they fire Cliff Kingsbury and then he comes back and brings the air raid to New England and then they just go balls out next season and throw
with Bailey Zappi or Bryce Young.
I don't care if they hire George Bailey or George Zip from Airplane. Don't care. I got Patriots 30, Cardinals 27. What do you got?
On that game, no, I like the over. I think I think the Patriots, if they're going to win a game, it has to be this one. They're not going to win in Vegas. So I think it's a coin flip. I can't say it because Arizona is just such a mess. The Patriots, if they go out and don't turn the ball over, they're going to win. They're going to put up some points. It's probably going to be Mac's, I would say, best game this year. So maybe some Mac Jones over props, maybe at underdog. I'm not sure what they are, but yeah.
I'd be in on him. I'd be in on him as well. Who knows if Kendrick Bourne plays after he mouthed off, and then Troy Brown had to tell everyone basically, and Kendrick Bourne specifically, in not so coded words, to shut up and do their job this week. Quit complaining, run the routes you're told, do your assignments, man up on your blocks. Everyone quit complaining about the play calling and do the best you can. I don't know whose over props I like. I definitely think you should play him at underdogfantasy.com as well. I think it's going to be a big scoring affair. If the Patriots do look good,
if Kyler Murray plays, and if
they lose, then it's over. If the Patriots lose this game, then it is over, kid. Just like our broadcast is over today.
You know what you're gonna have? You're gonna have Mac Jones. You know how Rodney Dangerfield did the my arm, I'm out. You're gonna have Mac Jones go, my ankle, I'm out, and it's on to Bailey Zappi, and Zappi comes close, rescues the team, but they still miss the playoffs.
Wouldn't that
Final
be
thoughts?
Breaking? Wouldn't you feel so much better? All right, now that you've vindicated, you son of a bitch. Thank you, everyone, for watching this week's edition of Dick Picks. Tell your friends to swing on by any Thursday from 12 to 1.
Swinging dicks. I like that, Fitzy. Right. That was a good one.
Swinging dicks. There you go. The old pickle dicks will be here every Thursday from 12 to 1. And, of course, you can watch the replay on my YouTube, my Facebook, and everywhere else. He's Dakota. I'm Fitzy. Those are just nicknames, and this is just for fun. Thanks for playing along. Good day. God bless. And as always, go Pats. See you, buddy.
No!